symbolize?
You wanna listen?
Yes, please tell me.
You want to listen?
I want to listen. Go on.
Okay, let me tell
What
you.
does it symbolize? Go on.
Symbolize the word.
Can I tell- let me-
You said it wasn't there.
Let me explain.
You are the one who said this verse wasn't there. Now I showed it to you. I educated you. Good. Oh, my Bible is different to yours?
This is the hundreds of translations.
Okay, which Bible do you believe in? Which Bible do you read? Tell me. I'll bring up that Bible. No, which Bible do you read?
Good news.
The Good News Bible? Okay, open this verse and tell me what it says there. Honestly, open that verse and tell me what it says there. Matthew chapter 10 verse 34. Yeah, go on. You were going to tell me what the sword symbolizes in this verse.
What I'm saying to you, I don't know. Human beings, even human beings,
Yeah.
tend to use decoy in order to avoid being detected by enemies.
I know what a decoy is. Carry on.
Right? Human beings, they use conciliation,
Yeah.
spies,
Yeah.
espionage.
What does sword mean?
Now hold on. When you are in a conflict situation, for example, humanity versus the fallen angels, you have to communicate in symbols. Otherwise, you don't want your enemy to know what you're doing. Human beings will do it. So,
He's God. He's not a human being.
so what I'm saying to you here is that what Jesus was referring to,
Yeah. Please tell
when
me.
he says
Yeah.
that he's coming here,
Not for peace, but
Not for peace.
but to bring a sword.
the Israelis of those times, what they really were expecting, the scribes and the Pharisees, they thought that Jesus was going to just come down, side with them, and start killing the Roman armies. That is not what he was going to do. He was not coming here for the Jewish people to be at peace, for him to be killing the Romans. No. He was coming here with, when he said the sword, it is the judgment of the truth.
What do you mean?
Truth. In other words, what did
But
Abraham...
when Islam
No, I'll give it. Let me finish. Go on.
becomes the sword, but for Christianity it becomes the word.
No,
But for us Muslims it becomes the sword.
hold on. First of all, you must keep in mind that
Actually, your interpretation is completely wrong. I'll tell you why. Because
hold on.
the next verse tells you
Hold on, man.
why he came for that.
Let me finish.
Yeah, go on.
This type of study, I was 21 years old when I started digging deep into religious studies.
I think you have forgotten a lot of that now. Looks like, because you see the next verse says this: "For I have not
This guy is
come."
here to get it in a camera. We're not
No, I'm telling you that you're saying wrong. Here's the reason,
I'm not
because
here to be on
the same
camera.
verse tells you why he came with the sword. He says here, "For I have come to set a man against his father, a daughter against his mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a man's enemies will be those of his own household." So nothing to do with the Jews siding him. So your interpretation is completely and utterly wrong. Nice try, by the way.
First of all,
What's going to happen to a Muslim woman
First of
if
all,
she turns to Christianity?
this
What
type
is
of
going to
things
happen?
is
Show me the Quran.
described in here.
Show me the Quran.
No.
I study Christianity,
I
Islam.
said
you
Jesus
study
is going to have to
religion,
suffer.
comparison to
That's what
religion.
he's talking about.
No, I try to see how God speaks to everybody. God speaks to you, speaks to me,
Means
speaks to him.
comparison between religion. If you would like to understand how God speaks to people.
Religion is just
Jazakallah khair. What's this?
the surface.
Thank you very much.
Religion is just the surface. God
Yeah,
is
just
the depth.
leave it in there. Thanks.
Your depth is God. The surface is religion.
All right.
And religion can be
depth you need to make a hole in,
Abdul Hamid.
in your skin to go in depth. Right? If you are saying religion is just surface, how will you go to the depth without making a hole in the...
No, what I mean is that the way this fellow talks here, somebody can go and pick up arms and start shooting. The way he talks, he can encourage people to start fighting, but he will run away.
To be honest,
That is it.
You will run away.
You know what?
run away.
You have misconstrued.
I know you will run
You have
away.
misconstrued what I said,
What I'm trying
and
to
it's an
say.
utter lie against me.
trying to say.
I never said the only way, the solution is a sword. I never said that. I said there is a time and place.
Sight.
No. You
Incite.
I think your understanding of what I said maybe is a language barrier or something. It looks like you misunderstood what I said. I said very clearly that there are times when you have to use force and there are times when you have to use peace and negotiations. There's no doubt about that. However, when you have someone like Hitler going about massacring people in Europe, do you think Britain just sat around and think, come on, rain the bombs on us? No. They went and fought them. And this is exactly what happened throughout history.
And Britain bombed the cities first.
Yes.
It targeted civilians first.
So stop lying against what I said. Try to understand what I say before you say something I did not say. Okay?
Okay.
Right.
Apologies if you think I didn't understand, but
Yeah, I think you haven't understood.
It still did not. I mean, when you say justice, somebody can pull out a knife and say, "I'm going to have justice right now."
No, that's not justice. That's called
What I'm teaching.
that is called injustice
What I'm
actually.
teaching is understanding.
Vigilantism is called injustice.
I'm teaching understanding.
How is it understanding when Jesus says, I came with a sword? How is
Because
it?
a lot
And
of
he understood that completely wrong.
Yeah.
He said that is he said that that is not siding with the Jews,
Let me
which has got nothing to do with that particular topic
I've
there.
already told you before that there is what they call symbolism.
Yeah, we know symbolism. But what you just explained the symbolism.
You should allow, these things, right?
No, but I did allow you to explain it.
This is London. London.
I know it's London.
There is also philosophy and thinking and discussions.
Yes.
Not shouting and argument. Let's.
Actually, I did give you time to explain yourself, and you made a mockery of the words in the Bible. Yes, you did. You said this is Jesus talking about.
Yeah, this is what you want.
No, I'm talking to you. This is what Jesus said, and you did not even understand what he meant by it. You completely took it out of context.
I tried to tell you.
I don't think you have understood the Bible the way you have read it. I'm sorry.
Contains a lot of mysterious words.
Yes, it does. I don't think sword is
Quran contains a lot of mysterious words.
really like what?
The Hindu book contains a lot of mysterious words. You can't just come out in the public space and start shouting about it and you think you are doing justice to the creation. No.
Like I said, you have completely misunderstood,
You need to-
because what you're talking about, the mysterious word, is actually you're saying something is a parable or metaphoric or something like that. I agree. In every religion you have metaphors. However, for you to say that this is something that the Muslims understood everything that is a metaphor is literal, no, that's wrong. Because I never said that was literal. In fact, I read the next verse to justify that this is what it means.
What I said is that you are inciting violence. I didn't say anything else.
Yeah, but that is wrong. When did I incite violence? When did I incite violence? Wait a minute. I want to know that why did you make the false allegation against me?
Let me tell you why.
No, I want to.
Let me tell
Yeah,
you
go
why.
on. Tell me why.
Because I've told you
What?
that even though I was born in this country,
Yeah.
I grew up.
Which
my
country?
parents, I was born here.
You're born here, really?
My
Okay.
parents are from Muslim Christian nation.
Which nation is that? Nigeria.
Right.
Is Nigeria a Muslim nation?
And there is a tendency, there's a tendency to associate justice with revenge.
What war you were
Is Nigeria a Muslim country?
It is 50% or more Muslim.
But is it a Muslim country?
I don't know. I mean,
Where's your country? You should know.
If I'm a Christian, I'll say it's a Christian country.
No, so
A
don't.
Muslim guy will say it's a Muslim
So
country.
do not say it's a Muslim country. Do not try to misrepresent Nigeria. You need to understand where you're coming from is a Nigerian background, and you're trying to juxtapose this on me. Just because,
no,
the Nigerian mentality, that's what you're trying to say.
all wrong.
The Nigerian
Let me explain
mentality
what I'm
associates justice with violence.
You're here
That
for
is
this
complete and
camera.
utter
You
wrong.
are here for this camera, so
No, I'm here for you.
Keep talking.
I'm here for you to get rid of the misconceptions
for the camera.
that you are actually trying to
Let me explain
spew
what
here.
I'm saying before being interrupted somewhat rudely.
Are you saying that I will just stand here and let you lie about me? Seriously?
What I'm telling you is that there is a tendency to associate justice with revenge.
Where?
Justice.
Where?
Right?
Where?
Justice.
In the place where I'm coming from, which I'm
So,
saying.
so Nigeria.
Even here,
So Nigeria. Okay.
if you study the history of the United Kingdom,
Yeah.
there was a civil war here in the 1640s. And there was a revenge based on justice, and the king was executed. Did you know that? The King of England was actually executed because somebody felt that there was need for a justice. So, when
Do you
say
really think that was the
justice-
reason he was killed?
when you
Okay.
say justice,
Which king was this, by the way? It looks like you read history.
either King James or King Charles.
Okay.
What's the relevance?
The relevance is that what I'm teaching,
What is the point
I'm
here?
teaching cooperation, not confrontation.
Is that feasible in every case?
In most cases,
But is it feasible in every case?
in most cases.
I didn't ask you. Is it feasible in every case? Is
Why
that a
must-
yes or
why
a no?
must you choose the least case?
For example, in the
Why
case.
must you choose the least case instead of the most
No,
case?
for example, you're saying exactly what I'm saying. That there are situations in which you have to, only the option is violence, is war. And if you're going to tell me
Very
that,
few situations.
yeah, but there are situations. That's what I'm telling you. You're saying exactly what I'm saying. Thank you very much.
So why do you choose to focus on that one?
When did I say focus
Why
only on
shouldn't
that?
Why shouldn't we?
See, he's
look
doing it
at-
again.
Why shouldn't we focus on a man must understand the relationship between himself and his creator? Whether he is a Christian or Muslim or Jew, it doesn't really matter. And then a woman must also try to understand the relationship between herself and the creator.
How will you understand?
And then come together in a marriage and have a family of peace, and you multiply that family 1,000,000 times in the whole world, and we can have a peaceful world. That is what I am propagating, not justice based on vengeance or justice based on revenge or resentment or you're harboring anger.
Did anyone suggest that? Did anyone say justice based on revenge
I'm not saying
or on
that.
vengeance? So why would you bring up things we didn't discuss?
I'm saying,
Okay.
you see, what we have right now, it's
I'm
not
gonna put this.
working. What we have right now is not working.
Sorry again?
What we have right now is not working. I mean, look at North and South Korea. Look at North and South Korea.
Yeah.
How are you going to neutralize that situation? Do you think that you can neutralize that situation politically? Or is it by love?
How do you neutralize it by love?
That is
Give us an example.
First of all, let me tell you this.
How will
Let
you
me tell you
neutralize
this.
the situation with love?
Let me tell you this.
Tell me how.
It's an utopian idea,
First of all,
honestly.
I am a product of love because my parents married and gave birth to me. So I'm a product of love. You are a product of love. Your parents got married, gave birth to you. So you are already evidence of what love is.
Yeah.
So therefore, why must you go outside of yourself to find an answer? Look at the situation in North Korea. North and South Korea have to say to each other, "You are my brother. I don't need to fire any nuclear weapons on you. We have different ideologies, but let us just agree to disagree and then live together." Anything less than that, a nuclear war is going to destroy the whole area. There will be no winners.
Okay, let me ask you then. What if they tried that? Let's say they tried this love approach that we have to live together in harmony with peace and with love. Let's say they tried that and it did not work. What next then?
Well, let's try it first.
No, let's say they tried that. Let's say
try it first.
I'm sure they tried that in Israel and Palestine. What next then?
If I love you,
What next? How long will you give them? 50 years? 60 years?
see-
How long will you give the oppression before somebody actually takes some positive steps
First of
to
all-
neutralize that issue?
Yeah, let me tell you this.
Yes.
I don't know I know we've been talking all along, but I don't know what's your faith. You're probably
Well,
Buddhist or Islam.
Yes.
Whatever your faith is, we believe that there is invisible power at work, and that is whom we call God. You are not the only one who is struggling here to make this world a better place. It's not just you and me. There are invisible forces whom we call Allah or God that is also busy.
Yeah. That's still,
It's not only us, you know.
that still doesn't answer the question.
Yeah, answers the question.
Yes. You know,
Because
God
what
himself.
I'm trying to tell you
listen.
is that
God himself in the Bible. Listen.
what I'm saying is, do what you can.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I've heard you, but what you're saying goes against the Bible and the Quran, because in the Bible, God sanctions the killing of women and children when there was a war. But in your philosophy, in your ideology, you're saying something from an utopian idea, where you say the South Korea and North Korea
right,
can just sit down together, talk about love and peace, and everything will be
Are you
perfectly
not
all right.
utopia yourself?
I'm not. I try to live a practical life as
wait,
possible.
wait.
You cannot just say love and peace for
Let me
everything.
ask you one
Some
question.
romantic
Will you stop pushing me, by the way? That's very rude of you.
Sorry. Let me ask you.
Answer,
I
first,
don't need to say
you need to answer my question first. Did God in the Bible sanction killing?
God does not advise killing. No.
Well, he does in the Bible. Maybe you haven't read the Bible. You said you read the Bible, you read the Quran, you read the Hindu literature. What have you read if you don't even know these
First of all,
basics?
let me ask you one question.
No, answer mine after you answer your
You're
question.
mixing events and sequences of time.
Now I'm talking about sanctions by God.
In the Bible.
Yes, in the Bible,
has
yes.
got an Old Testament and a New Testament.
Yes.
You cannot assume that what happened in the time of Jesus Christ is the same period of time as the time of Moses.
Why? Because he's God.
Because human beings were very low in the time of Moses.
What do you mean low? Time were animals?
I say human beings. I
Well,
didn't say all human beings.
those Jews were human beings.
You see how this guy...
Because that is whom the sanction was
You're
given
very
to.
good in derailing topics.
Not derailing, I'm telling you that you're going against.
What I'm saying is that during the time of Moses...
They were not human beings, seriously.
People were smarter back then than they are now.
Yes, human beings were terrible.
Let him explain
Terrible.
what he means.
That is why Moses told them, eye for eye, tooth for tooth.
But that's the law of God.
That was
Jesus is
the
God.
Old Testament. When
God.
Jesus
That was
Christ
the law of
came-
Jesus.
Hold
That's
on.
the law
When
of
Jesus
Jesus.
Christ came, he said, if somebody smack you on this side, turn the other cheek.
No, not in the
That's
end
what he
times.
did.
Not in the end times.
So what that means is that humanity was evolving because humanity fell after the fall of Adam and Eve in the Adam and Hawa in the book of Genesis.
No, not in the Quran,
In
but
the book of Quran,
no, not in the
there
Quran.
was
Humanity did not fall
Iblis,
like the way you're saying.
Iblis.
That's the Bible version.
Iblis tempted
Iblis is a Satan.
Adam. Iblis is Iblis is
Satan,
Iblis
Satan.
is Satan.
He's doing it for the camera now.
Okay. The same as we have Lucifer. Lucifer is a Satan,
Yeah.
right? He confused Adam. What did Iblis do? What did Iblis do to Adam?
He asked him to, told him to.
He deceived him.
Deceived him.
Thank you.
Carry on, yeah.
Iblis confused Adam
Yes.
the same way as Lucifer confused Adam.
Yes. So what did Adam do? What did Adam do after he was confused and deceived? What did he do?
He violated his law that God gave him.
He sinned, right?
Yeah.
How did he sin if you said earlier that he did not have the ability to sin when he was created?
I didn't say that.
Also, he did have the
No,
ability.
we did not discuss. You are a derailer. You're a derailer.
Actually, it's on camera.
Let's go back
We
to
can
what
show
we
it to
said.
on camera.
Man,
It is on camera. What do you mean derailer?
What are you here to do?
I'm here to expose the lies.
No, I'm here to actually expose you.
No, you haven't exposed
I
anything.
did not say that.
You did. It's on
I
camera.
see the twinkle
It's on
in
camera.
your
I'll show
eye.
it to you,
I see
and I will
the
prove it to
twinkle in your
you when it's on YouTube.
I came
You come and comment in
No,
the,
I
in the
know why
comments.
I'm here today.
Yes, why?
I'm here to actually combat you.
Sorry?
To combat you. You are.
Oh, now you're talking about combating, not love.
you
Remember the man who said we have to love and talk with
Yeah.
peace? Now he wants to combat me.
But not that kind
Looks like you
of
expose
combat.
yourself.
Not that kind of combat.
By the way, you still haven't answered my question. Why did God, Jesus, sanction the killing of women and children? Jesus sanctioned the killing of women and children if you believe Jesus is God.
Never did he do that.
Was he God in the Old Testament?
Never did he do
Was
that.
Jesus God in the Old Testament?
You're not going to put me on the
Yeah.
spot.
Are you going to answer the question?
No, I'm not gonna
Of course
answer.
you're not going to be because you're already on the
That's a
spot.
foolish question.
It's not a foolish question.
What
It's a
I'm
fact.
saying, my brother.
It's a fact according to the
I keep
Trinitarians.
coming back to the beginning, which is Abrahamic faith.
He's going to keep repeating himself.
Abrahamic faith. All right? Which is that at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you've got all these brothers essentially living in ignorance because they do not understand that they are brothers. And all they are doing is just essentially killing each other out.
I think you got to live in the real world. You need to live in the real world where there are people who are against each
Are
other.
brothers.
Yes.
We believe they are brothers. Who? Jesus, Muhammad, Musa. We believe that they are. We have the same message. They are
You know, in the Quran, Allah says
That is-
Abraham was neither a Jew
that is the starting
nor a
point.
Christian,
That is the
but he was one who believed in one God.
That's what we believe.
Belief is the starting point. It's good, don't get me wrong.
My issue with
But in addition to belief, you know what you have to have?
Yes.
It's what they call substance. Substance, that means doing
doing what?
what you believe.
Man, you're contradicting yourself. Man.
Absolutely.
You're
No, what I'm saying
contradicting
is that you
yourself.
believe first, then you must do.
We are telling you.
If
we
you
believe
believe,
in
if you
that.
believe I'm your brother,
Yeah.
how are you gonna? Let me give you an example.
I believe that you are my brother.
How-
I love
how-
you.
how do you-
But
how-
if you come to kick me out from my house, I will not accept that.
Yeah, I know, but let me ask
Right?
you.
You will demand justice, right?
How will you?
You will demand justice.
This is my issue now. How will you? I love you. You are my brother. I love you. I'm in peace with you, right? But if you come to kick me out from my house, I will not accept
told
that,
you-
and
I told you before.
you will not accept that either.
I told you before.
That's why I said he lives in
Let me
Ethiopia.
Let me say it again because this
like
fellow,
perfect thinking
this
that
fellow always,
which is
he
not
always,
reflects the reality.
he always
He doesn't like my arguments because it goes against his so-called utopian
always
ideas.
interrupts me when I'm gonna give you an answer.
I let you speak so many times. What are you on about?
Heaven, not on earth.
Let him answer my direct question.
I doubt he
love you.
will.
You are my brother. We are we are in peace.
We've been there
If you
before.
come to kick me out from my house, what should I do?
Yeah.
This is my
First of all,
direct
let me
question.
tell this to you.
Yeah.
Remember I told you before that this is not an easy solution, right?
Okay.
I think I've said it to you.
Okay.
We're not going to go tomorrow
So what is
to
the
Palestine and start. What we are doing here already, here in the UK and at the United Nations,
United
It's
Nations.
It will hold.
together, is to pull together.
Myanmar, they're being slaughtered.
Let's say
UN will do nothing.
And what are
You know,
they doing?
you guys,
United
you're just,
Nations.
you're
What,
just
what
like,
are they doing?
you're just like unbelievers.
Yeah, you can.
you just listen.
So before he was against you, now sorry against me, now he's against you.
They interfered immediately.
Anyway,
answer the question.
I accept your idea. Okay, you started this idea of like spreading love between people, right? This is the first step. Spreading love
What I'm
between
saying,
people.
what I'm saying, they don't allow me to answer the question. Even if the United Nations is not working properly,
They're not.
but it's still where you and me have people. We have people there.
Where?
In the UN,
How?
you've got a United Nations representation from your country.
He's saying every country's got a representation.
So you have to work with what you have.
So what do you propose?
You see what I'm saying? You start with what you've got.
You have this nation in Palestinian and Israelis.
Pardon?
You have this
Representation.
representation
Yes.
there. What they did.
We have an organization called Universal Peace Federation.
Okay, what they did there.
Nothing.
What is the biggest achievement for
What they
this
did there.
organization?
Biggest achievement,
marriages.
which I tried to give you an answer a long time ago when he interrupted me.
No, you said intermarriages. That was your answer,
It's the intermarriages, which
which was illegal.
he said,
Which is illegal.
What do you mean?
he said it's illegal.
He's saying in order to solve the solution of Palestine and Israel,
Don't answer the
they
question for me.
have to intermarry, because he said that earlier. There's no point repeating this, because at the end of the day, he's going to go by the Bible, which the New Testament clearly says that Jesus will make his enemies his footstools. He's going to massacre them all in the second coming. And if he hasn't read that bit, maybe he doesn't know about his own Bible.
I'm telling you, I know people like this. I know this guy.
Have you read that bit in the Bible?
This
Shall I
guy,
show it to you?
He was attacking Hitler, but he's
Second
got the same
Hitler?
character as Hitler. He can make everybody on this floor to fight.
By the way, this is the guy who's talking about love. He's calling me Hitler now.
No, you got the same character. You know, some people are very good with their tongue.
Actually, I just gave him the fact from the Bible, and he doesn't like it.
Some people are very
In the
good with
Bible,
this.
Jesus says, I will
why-
make my enemies my footstools, and this is in the book of Revelation. This man here doesn't know about Christianity or about Islam, and all he does is he comes and blames
Let me
me
answer you.
ad hominems against you because you don't agree with him.
My friend.
That's what he does. And this is what I'm saying.
What is
All you do
telling-
is spread
Can you
hate.
give the fellow a chance to answer the question?
You already answered this. It
Tell
was a
him, Can you
repeat.
give the fellow, me, a chance to answer your
He
question?
answered that earlier. You were here, right? He's repeating himself. That's all.
The reason why is because of his interruption. I was saying that marriage
Let's see.
across culture, marriage across religion, marriage across international boundaries, marriage across
By saying marriage, is it
Let me
physical
finish.
or is it what?
He means actual marriage.
Marriage.
Yes.
Marriage.
So he wants the Israelis to marry the
Marriage is about-
Palestinians to have peace
Look at
between
this,
them. Seriously.
Marriage is about love, and if you love a woman, or if the man loves the
He talks a lot about love, but he doesn't show
man
it.
loves the woman loves the man, and they come together in a family. The children are not gonna be enemies to their parents.
But there are some,
Am I
some
right?
rules in religion that not allow marriage, for example.
I know there are rules in religions that do not allow that.
How would you? I mean,
I agree with you, but there's also in South Africa during the apartheid, there was also rules that do not allow black and white people to marry.
But that's not religious. What you're saying is not religious. What he's asking is about a religion. It does
Let's
matter.
ask you about law.
No, he said
It is about law. Law.
He said as a religion. Listen, you don't listen. That's your problem.
He said that the law does
as
not
a Muslim,
allow.
I'm just allowed to marry Muslims or
Chaste.
Yeah, chaste or
Chase people of the book.
who have the book.
Yes.
That's it. I'm not allowed.
And the woman gets married with like
Nothing to do with black and white.
I don't know.
Okay, let me ask you.
Buddhism.
Under whose authority are you not allowed to do that?
Allah.
Whose authority.
Under the authority of Allah.
Pardon?
Religion, God, which is God, which I believe.
No, what did you say before?
Religion, which is God, coming from God.
Okay.
So you see, it's
Let me
religion.
ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Are you more important than the Quran, or is the Quran more important than you?
What do you mean exactly?
In the eyes of God, are you more important than the
I don't
Quran?
know what God
Or the Quran is more important than you?
What God
He's basically asking you, is the law of God more important or are you more important? Is that right? Did I get that right? Is the law of God, because the Quran is the law of God. Just like the Bible has the law of God. Yes?
It's got your question.
So you need to clarify what you understand by the term Quran then.
What do you mean by
Yeah, go on.
He didn't got it.
Is the law made for man, or is man made for law?
The law of God, you mean? Which law?
Law made for man, or is man made for law?
Which law? The law of the land or law of God? Which law you're talking about? You need to clarify. Is it the law of God or is it the law of the land? Which one is it?
Any law.
Any law.
Whether it is the law of God or is the law of the British government, or is the law
Okay.
of
The law is made for example, the law of Britain applies to Britain. It doesn't apply elsewhere. Similarly, the law. I'm clarifying what he's saying now.
you know that this question is a very important question, because you need to define the relationship between yourself and
God.
Creator.
Absolutely.
If you think that I'm sorry.
I'm slave of God. I worship God. I'm trying to do what He tells me to do as a Muslim.
By the way, I'm
in
not
Quran.
I'm not putting you on
No,
the
no, no,
spot.
I understand.
We're just
yeah.
having a conversation.
But I didn't get your point. What you mean by what is important, Quran or me? I mean, in view of God, right? That's the question.
Yes.
I mean, you are comparing two different things.
Not really.
You are comparing me with the book. I mean, in point of view of God.
I think
The reason why I'm
he's
saying
lost
that, you know
himself.
why I'm asking that question? I'm asking that question, for me anyway, as a Christian person who still believes that Islam is truth, because God talks to all people. As a Christian person, I believe that the relationship between me and God is like father and son. So, whatever law God gives me, I'll do my best to obey it.
That's what we are doing as
Yes.
Muslims.
So, but if I do not obey it,
What's going to happen?
He is not going to disown me.
Is there consequences for that?
He's not going to disown me.
Is there consequences?
You know why? Because I'm very important to him. That's why he made me.
Guess what happened to
That's why
Adam?
he made me.
He's saying there's no consequences. Guess what happened to Adam when he
did not say-
disobeyed God?
I did not say there's no consequences. I'm saying that
So there
he's
is
not going to
consequence.
disown me.
Happen to us who don't
He
believe.
what do you mean disown?
Even after Adam disobeyed, God did not give up on trying to save him. Up to today, God is still trying to save human beings.
Man, God doesn't try.
so what I'm
God
trying to-
doesn't try. God, if He wants something, He will say happen and it will happen. He doesn't try.
Yeah,
Why
but
will
but
God
what I'm
try?
saying is that my belief is that the relationship between me and the Creator is is parental, parent and child.
Really, it is?
That's the way I believe it.
Okay.
So maybe that can create differences of interpretation.
I don't agree totally with you because sometimes I have my father. I don't agree with him sometimes in some points of view. But with me and God, I fully agree what he's telling.
No, but the thing is, you see, between you and your father, there is a relationship of a father and a son. There's no doubt. But you're saying that same relationship exists between God and you. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you this. If you disobey God, and if you, let's say you no more believe in the Trinity, or believe Jesus is God, or any of the laws of God in the Bible, you disobey it. Will your father, whom you call a parental relationship, will he burn you in hell for eternity?
No.
No. So anyone who disobeys God, he will give them paradise.
That is not what it means.
What does it mean? Do you believe in hell and heaven, by the
What it
way?
means is that you suffer the consequences of your own action.
Which is what?
You see, if I tell you not to put your hand in electricity, I'm a father. I myself, I'm a father. If I told my baby, who is now grown up, don't put your hand on this electricity, you're going to get shocked.
Yeah.
Do you think that if he disobeys me, the electricity is going to have favor on him?
No, that's a different question. Different point.
Of,
Do you believe in hell and heaven?
I believe in hell and heaven, but it's not a location. It's a state of your mind.
Okay, whatever. Is there suffering in hell? Whatever state of mind. Is there suffering in hell?
There's suffering in your mind here on earth.
When you die, do you believe in life after death? Do you believe in life after
There's
death?
life after life.
Okay,
Life after life.
That's fine. Life after life.
Yes.
And this afterlife, do you believe in that afterlife? The people who did not believe in God, or do not believe in the one true God, will they be suffering in hell for eternity?
It's not a question of what you believe. It's a question of what you do.
No, but do you believe it? You said you believe in the life after life. That is a belief.
Yeah.
It's not what you do. You're going to do something or not.
What I mean is,
are you going to answer the question?
You could believe in God and you go around killing people and stealing and murdering. And
If you are misunderstanding what God is telling you,
it means that you're misunderstanding. That's why I'm saying that it's really not a question of belief. It's more a question of understanding, because if you truly understand what
specify the subject about killing people, because if you say killing people, if someone is sitting like in peace in his home and someone tries to come kill his family, he has to defend himself.
Yeah, it's possible.
So you
I'm not going to be a judge of that.
Like the
I'm not a judge.
Talking about it.
Love and peace.
I'm not. You're right. Every situation is for the Creator to judge. But what I'm saying is that the concept of hell.
Yes. How does the Bible define hell?
The concept of hell or heaven. You can create it here, even right here, for yourself.
No, how does the Bible define it?
If you love people, care for people, give things to people, share for people, you create heaven for yourself. If you hate people, destroy people, ruin people, you create hell for yourself. Why? It is the law of nature.
No, but
what you give is equal to what you receive.
But how does the Bible define hell? It says it's a lake of fire in which these wretched people will be put in. How do you define that?
Remember I told you before,
Symbolic?
there is a lot of articles in the Bible that are deliberately left like that.
Salah?
In the Bible, there is a certain book called Amos.
Called what?
The book of Amos.
Hiding Alex, you're right. Oops.
يا لغتي عربية حسبي بأنك منطقي وبياني عربية قلبي